So I guess we'll just skip the introductions here. I got 3 2 hearts. I think I raised 10k pre-flop. I got 4 callers. Flop gave me 2 hearts, and I'm gonna bet the draw. And the thing about this hand is I bet the draw like I have the king. That's one of the little advanced strategies you can use. It looks like you're trying to protect against a flush. That way, when it does come, case in point here, you can bet like you're trying to protect against the flush itself, even though you have it. It works particularly well against aggressive players like this guy right here because they will try and represent the flush when they don't have it, and of course you do. So you'll call them, 9 out of 10 times and be ahead. So I bet 55, which is on the lesser end of half the pot. I'm trying to get a little bit of value for it. Trying to get him to call or maybe even raise. That'd be great, but it doesn't always work the way you want. He folded, so I bought the pot. Really, it was a good sized pot. I couldn't complain. But that's one little strategy you can use. Bet like you're protecting against the hand that you have. Here we got queens. I don't like queens very much. The raise was the 14k by this kind of loose player, but almost any time you have queens pre-flop and there's a raise, you should re-raise. I decided to bump it up about 30 more, right? 30, click it twice, 30, there you go. 30 more, makes it 44 total. At this point, I'm hoping there's no king or ace in the flop, unless the queen accompanies it. That'd be cool. Saw me check YouTube there. That's some good advice too. If you're playing poker, don't just play poker, because it gets too boring and you'll do something stupid out of pure boredom. Anyway, flop comes 5 queen king, which is pretty much awesome. I was gonna bet on the weaker end of the pot, but I decided to bet a little bit more because of the 2 clubs out there. Turns out the guy folded instantly because he didn't have a hand at all. So my set got minimum value, but still won the hand. You can't complain when you win the hand. That's, if you wanted more value out of it, you should have played it a little bit differently. But that always leaves an opportunity for losing the hand. So I'm not gonna complain over a 200k pot. Here I got 5-6. The raise was a 10k. I figured see a flop, sure, but then I got re-raised 18k, and there was 3 people in the pot for 28k, so I'm not gonna fold. So I called the 18k, and everybody will say, "Oh, 18k for or 28k for 5-6 offsuit, such a terrible play." But you're looking at a flop. If the flop came 2 6s and a queen, I'd be monstrously ahead of most hands. So I just wanted to see a flop at that point. The price is right. Always play the odds. Here we got 10s and another raise 14k from this man. I just flat call. I didn't want to raise, scare him off in case a board like this came. There's 6-2-2. Not many hands here that he would have that I'm scared of. He's been raising the 14k all day. He bet 14, so I'm going to raise him with almost any 2 cards in this situation. The pocket pair makes it easier, obviously. And he calls. And then the queen comes, which is an overcard, so I treat it as such. I bet a little bit over half the pot. It takes a while to decide. I think he was trying to figure out if he was going to raise me or not, because I've been betting and raising a lot in this game. If he raised there, I would have to put him on, at least a queen and give the pot to him, I guess, just to be on the safe side. But he folded. That's always nice. I took another decent sized pot down. Here we got aces, late position. Aces, love them. This guy raised 10k, which is standard, so I raised him 22k, which is also standard. An in your face move. In your face! Everybody else folds. I'm hoping he calls so I can get heads up with aces. It's always what you want. He calls, which is great. And the flop comes king 10-7 with 2 spades. Not the best flop. I was intending to bet, a little bit over 2/3, scare off the flush draw, but I decided to bet less than that, and if the turn was not a spade, I was going to push. Turns 8 of hearts, so I push, and the video skips for some reason. And it turns out he had jack 6 of spades, so he had the flush draw, and he picked up the inside straight. He decided to put another 140k on that. I mean, he hit it. Congrats to him. Not the best call, but certainly not the worst, you'll see. So sometimes you get a little unlucky like that. You just rebuy and hope that it doesn't happen again. this hand was not too long after that, I believe. I had Jack 10 and I raised a little bit out of frustration, but Jack 10 is not a bad hand. Middle position, want to see a flop like this. 9-8-5 rainbow flop. This guy bets 22 and he gets one caller. And there's about 100k in the pot, so figure if I could take this down right now, I'd love to. So I raise all in, I push, and it might look like I'm tilting. If I get called, I got a lot of outs to pretty much any hand, but nobody calls. They both fold, so I pick up the the 100k pot, which is what you want. You want people to fold if you don't have a hand yet. So it worked out fairly well. Here we got queens under the gun. Under the gun, for those who don't know the terminology, I guess, would be first to act pre-flop. Yeah, you got the dealer button, the small blind, the big blind, and then under the gun, which is me. Yay. So under the gun, you want your raise to be a little bit bigger than normal. I usually raise 10 to 12. I raise 15. I get 1, 2, 3 callers. I believe these people both fold. We should just hurry up and fold. Again, queens, not the best hand. I don't like it very much in case a flop like this comes. It's king 5-9 with 2 spades. I don't want to bet here because I know somebody's got a better hand. But I still bet a little over half. Very little over half. You know, just to see who folds and who calls. I get one caller immediately, which means I'm behind. I know it. A fold and then a push for 300k. So I'm just instantly going to fold, because this guy's been playing aggressive all day. He gets called, which means I get to see his hand, king 7, great. And he gets called by a flush draw, and the flush draw hits, which is karma. Yay, karma. Ace king, late position, 10k raise. What do you want me to tell you? That's more standard than I've ever been. Nothing new here, folks. I got 2 callers. This guy folds, because he's crazy type player. So the flop comes Jack 7 Jack, 2 hearts. Again, 2 overcards to the pair on the board. I'm gonna bet. I bet kinda strong. I think 26 and a 41, just to see who does what. I get 1 fold, 1 call, which is okay. I mean, I can't complain. The queen comes, which gives me the Broadway straight draw, the 10 Jack Queen King Ace straight. So I'm gonna bet again, bet half the pot, and just usually check the river unless it's a 10, a non-heart 10. But it's a 10 of hearts. I put her on a flush draw, which means she hit it and I hit the straight, so I'm just gonna check it down. Turns out she had king 7, and yeah, I lucked her really bad, but that is her fault. She needs to raise when she has the best hand, and she didn't do that. I mean, we're all guilty of it at some point. I've done it before. I'll do it again, I'm sure. So, I mean, you learn from your mistakes, hopefully. Here I raised the 11k on the button with pocket 7s. This guy goes all in for 11.224k. The courteous thing to do here is just call. Don't springboard raise, as we call it. That's when somebody raises like 200 po, you shove for 180k more. But here you got king king 6 flop, which means I got second pair, which is pretty good. And then this guy, I bet 20k into a 40k pot, pretty standard, and then he shoves for 184. Now, I haven't been playing with this guy this long. I'm going to get to see the hand, so instead of, calling to see the hand, I'm just going to fold. Give him the 20k, and he flips over. So yeah, we have even more hands to show you. Yes, even more. Some different things happen. You'll see me lose a few big pots and comment on why I lost and all that good stuff. Trying to keep it entertaining, as boring as it may seem. Alright, so check it out.